May the force be with you. I just couldn't resist that. I wanted to start off this tutorial with something funny, and a picture of Yoda is about as good as I got. Anyway, this tutorial is going to be about transitions and how to use transitions, and more importantly how to use very basic transitions to emphasize the passing of time, and in some ways just to kind of fill either a between fight moment when you're at a gate or something like that, or maybe just to move on to the next musical track in your EVE Online video. So first things first, I wanted to show you two films which I thought really showed this off to good effect. The first one is CH1 Vanguard by Meridius. Now let me just go back to the beginning here. Now, I'm going to show you sort of the first 30 seconds or so, and it says here Chapter 1 Vanguard. If I just play that through, we're not going to hear the music, but it's John Williams, by the way. Anyway, you can see there straight away we got a transition. Meridius went from exterior shot of a station straight into Sacrilege, I think, and back to the station. Now you can see there what he's done is he's overlaid two shots. One shot of the station, and with the Sacrilege there you can just see it, and the Sacrilege here, which is what we've just done the transition from. I'm going to move forward here. You can see he moves to another shot here next to a planet, so that's two shots, three shots, four shots, and then a completely unrelated new shot of a fleet in warp, which looks a lot like fish in a tank, I thought. And we move back to this opening station here, and it moves forward again, and it blends transitions, so that's another two pieces there. But now we're into three pieces. We got the shot once again of the guys in warp, and we got another shot of a fight taking place, and we have the station, and we have a Sacrilege on another shot. So there's like four shots there, all overlaying one another to be displayed, and that moves forward, and it transits. It blends between the different ones there. Explosion, Sacrilege, goes out, fades out slightly there, so that we can see these guys here that are in warp and stuff near a gate, and then it comes back on to that shot once again of the Sacrilege, and then we blend into these other shots here. So this is a very nice way of sort of showing the passing of time and the music that's being played behind it, and I don't mind playing that through actually. So you can see what's been done there is really blending with the music and editing with the music, and it's a wonderful film. And if you haven't seen CH1 Vanguard, either the high quality one or the Windows Media Player one, do a search on e-files. I'm sure it's on there somewhere for you to download. The other film I wanted to show was a recruitment film by Veto for Hire, where they're showing that they are now a corporation that are able to take mercenary contracts. This is about a year, maybe 18 months ago now. But I just want to play this through here. But starting off, I've paused it here sort of halfway through, because we've got two shots here in frame. We've got this shot here where we've got the two APOCs, and we have another shot with another APOC here in the background. And what Verone has done is he's blended all of these together. So see, he's blending the shots here. He's got, I think probably that moment there, he got one, two, possibly three shots there, all in frame. So you can see we've got this planet here, and the shots that are sort of the same opacity are all blended on there, and we've got the two APOCs here, which are part of the same shot. And he blends this through into another shot. So he moves through, he blends one out, and then he blends this one in here of the Scorpion. We're still holding with the APOCs. That's a nice shot there. And he's moving forward to there's three shots there. Now there's two shots, moving into three shots, back to two, moving forward again. So he really went to work here, and got a very nice effect. So here I think we've got three shots. We've got the Scorpion here, we've got the Geddon, and we've got the APOCs and the Geddons there all line astern, and he's blended those in together. So really nice effect there. And like I say, it gives the impression of time passing. I may have mentioned this before on other tutorials, but this is what using this this sort of very slow cross-fading overlay transition does. It gives you that sort of sense of time. It slows things down, and it's a very good thing. Like I say, if you've got a PvP film, and somewhere during the middle of that film it'll transition either into a new fight, or it'll move into the next musical track, and you need some kind of bridge to link either two scenes together or two sequences together. It's a good way of doing it. So let's have a look at Adobe Premiere Pro and show you how to do that. And Yoda is just the coolest guy in the universe. So anyway, here we are inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take this file here and drop that down onto track number 1, and take this file here and put that on track number 2. Let's have a look here, yeah, take this file here, put that onto track number 3, and take this one and put it onto track number 4, turn all the eyeballs on. Now Adobe will render everything in sequence, and that sequence just goes from the highest stacker up here down to track number 1. Now if the only thing that was being shown was track number 1, then that's the only thing that you're going to see there, but whatever is above it, like on the text tutorial, whatever is above will be rendered first. So if I turn all of these on, the top file here, track number 4 of A Drake, is the thing that will be rendered. So how do we see the things below that? Well, what we want to do is go to Effects Controls, and for track number 4, toggle on the opacity and drop that down to 50%, and go to track number 3, do the same thing, toggle the opacity and drop that down to 50%, go to number 2, go to the opacity and drop that down to 50%, and track number 1 we don't have to drop that because that is the lowest track, so that can stay at 100%. And now you can see, if I just move this over here, if I play that through, we are playing 4 video tracks on top of one another, and they're all blending together. It looks a bit of a mess because we haven't keyframed any of these opacity settings. All we've done is just stack them up. So if we were to keyframe them, let's have a look. If I take this particular track here, move this over here for a second. Okay, let's punch in a keyframe at the beginning of 100%, and if I move forward, actually no, let's start at 0. You can slide this, by the way, you just slide this backwards and forwards, and if you toggle down once more you can see that slide like that, but that's just an option, whatever works for you really. Or you can just punch in there and obviously type in numbers, entirely up to you. But start at 0, going to move forward say 5 seconds, punch a keyframe and let's put in 50, move forward again, punch another keyframe but don't make any changes, and move forward again and punch keyframe for 100%, move forward, hold on 100% for a few more seconds, punch another keyframe, move forward and drop down to 0. So you can see by looking at this graph that this is effectively the brightness of this track here, and track number 2. So way back here at the beginning it has no brightness or no opacity, and as we move forward it gets half brightness and you can see it coming in there, and move forward again and it dominates the scene there just for a few seconds and then rapidly just kind of fades out down to nothing. And the good thing is we can change these into easy keyframes, so ease in, right click on them, ease in, ease in, ease in, and ease in again. If I zoom in you should be able to see these, what it's done is made these keyframes nice and smooth, and you know, they're not straight linear keyframes, they've got nice curves to them, so it doesn't seem like such a mechanical change that's occurring there with the opacity. It would seem like a very smooth and sort of natural feel to it. Anyway, sounds like a hair commercial. Anyway, If I click on play now, let's just move this across here. We can see that bigger picture. So it starts off, and straight away we're moving into 50%. So we can see track number 2 there, 50%. Moving forward, and that increases there to 100%. So that's dominating all of the rendering now. So we can't see what's at track number 1, and then straight away we fade out and come in onto that transition there. And it really is that simple. What we can do from there is then start adding more animation to this and more files. So we could take say, take this file here. Yeah, we could take this file here, and just as this one comes to the end of its sort of keyframe animation just there, can bring that in, and let's alter the opacity of this one now. So these keyframes, by the way, these effects controls, these are only for the video files. These aren't for the entire track. So you can have 2 files next to one another and have all of these keyframes in them, and they'll be completely independent of one another. But anyway, let's click on this file here, and let's move this across, give ourselves a bit more room, and I'm going to bring this over a little bit more, I think, and start off here at the beginning of that file. I'm going to punch a keyframe in at 0, just like we did for this one. I'm going to come forward to here. I'm going to punch that up to 50%. I'm just going to let it hold at 50%, and same again. Move forward, increase that to 100%. Let that do its thing. Punch another keyframe, move forward to the end, and drop that down to 0. So we've done the same thing that we've done here. We've done this sort of rising curve, so we can see there. Bring this down, let's have a look at that. See, that kind of rises and comes back down again. Very similar thing to what we've done there. Let's play that through and take a look at that. You see, comes up, blends in, increases, and all the time we've got this track number 1 that's just down here. So whatever we fade out of anything up here, see, that one then comes in, and that's blending in with this one and this one, because this one's at 0 now, and that one will then take over just in time for that warp gate to shoot across. Then that fades out, and we come back to this shot here, which is our controlling shot, which is track number 1. That's a nice shot. I love editing. It's great fun. Anyway, there you go. Not much more to show you on that. Why would we use this? Well, as I said at the beginning, it's very good for doing a montage type of sequence. It's a good way of linking 2 scenes together. So just play around with it, and you know, don't be limited by the amount of tracks that you've got down here. If you want to bring down new tracks, it will just create a new track for you, and you can just endlessly just keep dropping these down time after time after time forever, and you can play with all of them. You just go on forever up there. But there you are. Just have fun with it, play with the settings, and just sort of see what can come out of that. And hopefully, instead of just going from one scene to the other just abruptly, you can have some sort of nice almost intro into the new scene. But anyway, for now, I think you and I, once again, are good to go.